So we've actually been gathering about 137 questions for you. The problem is that you only have time for a few. So the first one that I have promised is what the headline is today. Someone whose letters are DT because it's difficult for me to even pronounce, has actually said that he would love to open the California coastline to oil and gas drilling. Now, before you start, I know that you want to be diplomatic. I know that you would like to mince your words.
I'm known for my diplomacy.
But we would really like to know.
Over our dead body. Period. Full stop. And you know what's interesting about that? He says he wants to open up the coast of California, oil drilling, but he has no interest in opening up oil drilling rigs right off the coast of Florida, right across the street from Mar-a-Lago. Completely silent on that. So it's never going to happen. Over our dead body, dead on arrival. Period. Full stop. And I say this very mindful. Look, I do not want the United States of America to be a footnote on climate policy. And that's exactly what Donald Trump is intending to do. He's intimidating and bullying people. He's threatening people. You saw with what we did on the world shipping deal we had. And we're at another side of it. This is a different time. It requires a different kind of politics. It requires a different kind of clarity, a different kind of conviction. You got to call things out. You can't play by the old set of rules when it comes to Donald Trump and Trumpism. We have simultaneous crises. We have a global climate crisis and a crisis with democracy. Donald Trump does not believe in the rule of law. He believes in the rule of dawn. And I hope it's dawning on you and others around the world what is going on in the United States of America. And so my state of mind is very different than it was 9 months ago. And I'm deeply mindful of the anxiety that many of us fear around the globe. But I'm not going to be complicit, and nor should you be complicit at this moment. It requires people of conviction, of authenticity, to share their voice and to stand up to this bully. He's an invasive species. He is. He's a wrecking ball president. He's trying to roll back progress in the last century. He wants to recreate the 19th century. He's doubling down on stupidity as he tries to vandalize our progress. And you know who's cheering? Who's singing his praises? President Xi in China. They're sitting back dominating supply chains, dominating manufacturing, flooding the zone all across this country because they understand the great economic opportunity to transition to clean and green energy. And we will not allow that to happen in the state of California. We are a stable partner. We are a reliable partner. Trump is temporary. And California will continue to lead the national conversation in the United States of America on the issue that brings us all here to the left.
Okay. So let me ask you a question about democracy, because the fruit of democracy is that we have changing administrations, which is in principle a good thing. With climate, you need actually consistency and predictability. So how do we bring those two things together, especially for a country that has honestly flip-flopped as often as the United States? The United States went into the Kyoto Protocol, then came out of the Kyoto Protocol. It went into the first part of the Paris Agreement, then came out. It went back into the Paris Agreement, now it is out. This is a multilateral scenario here. This is a multilateral forum. How do other countries even conceive of the United States as a reliable, consistent partner if the United States has flip-flopped so much?
Please don't look at the United States from the prism of Washington, D.C. Think about the United States bottom up, not top down. We have a system of federalism. Our founding fathers, 249 years ago, took the best of the Roman Republic, took the best of Greek democracy, co-equal branches of government, popular sovereignty, that rule of law. The 10th Amendment of the Constitution gives states certain rights. And the state of California since Ronald Reagan. 1967, Governor Ronald Reagan has been leading in a bipartisan way, passing the baton, regardless of change of administration, with a consistent policy of low carbon green growth. We created the California Air Resources Board in 1967. In 1970, a Republican named Richard Nixon gave us a way of codifying our national leadership. Democrats and Republicans understand the economic imperative. 7 times more green jobs in California than fossil fuel jobs. We're now the 4th largest economy in the world, not despite that, because of our policies. Elon Musk, maybe $1 trillion, because of California's regulatory system. There would be no Tesla without the consistent regulatory posture from the state of California. So my point to you is to make a point to all of you. That we believe is a model. The power of emulation. Success leaves clues. And that consistency we just reinforced. Just a week ago, before we came here, we extended our cap and trade, nation-leading cap and invest program to 2045. That marks the market. So whatever happens in Washington, D.C., it's a lot of noise. I'm not naive. But go local. Amazing things are happening at the local level all across the United States of America. What America all in represents is that recognition. You don't like the way the world up, when you stand on your head and go local. Cities, counties, Republican-led cities and counties, and blue and red states are moving forward because they believe that climate risk is economic risk. And they want to de-risk. They want to future-proof. And they understand that green energy is low-cost energy. Cost of living is the biggest driver of so much of the populism in our country, and for that matter around the world. And they're increasingly seeing economic imperative and opportunity. So our mindset is local and subnational. And I hope when you think about the United States, don't think about what happens every 4 years in relationship to D.C. Think about how you can engage and partner with states like California and other states across the country.
Good advice for those in the audience, but sitting next to me is someone who wants to go national.
I don't want to go anywhere. I want to go to the Amazon, actually, in 2 days. So, point me in the right direction.
Well, it seems to many of us here that you are pointing perhaps in the right direction. So let's just fast forward in our imagination. We're not saying anything here that is factual. This is not a fact check. This is just imagination. Let us imagine that you are the candidate for the presidency of the United States. Now, you will run on a pro-climate campaign. Once you're elected in the White House, you might have to depoliticize climate change in order to drive the policies that you need to catch up with the rest of the world who's going to be way ahead of the United States. So how do you run a climate campaign and then depoliticize across the aisle?
I'm not going to take the bait. But I will say this. I think we need to change the debate. No, when we talk about 1.5 in the United States, no one knows what, with all due respect, I have a tough time as well. Fahrenheit or Celsius, what's 1.5 Fahrenheit? And you translate to Celsius, greenhouse gas, it's abstract. Climate change seems abstract. So we have to talk in terms that people understand. And I say this all the time, you don't have to believe in science, you have to believe your own eyes. It's about people, it's about places, it's about lifestyles, it's about traditions. I come from a state that's one of the most blessed and cursed states. We're the tip of the spear as it relates to the impacts of climate change. Remember, in Los Angeles, California, in the middle of winter in January, we had one of the most devastating wildfires in U.S. history. Simultaneous floods and droughts. Places wiped off the map Paradise, California, where I walked with Donald Trump 6 years ago. Grizzly clouds, wiped off the map. And I think we talk in those terms. Pollution blanket, not in abstracts. People can absorb those metaphors and they can understand what this is. I talk about financial risk in relationship to climate risk. I talk about the insurance crisis in the United States of America. And you can't build a home, let alone buy a home, without insurance. That connects all of us to this issue. The cost of energy going up because Donald Trump is pulled away from Joe Biden's climate leadership. They anticipate 10% increase in energy costs this year alone because of Donald Trump's vandalism of Biden's. So if we put things in those terms, I think we can start bringing people over, and we can create the space where we can start to win this very important debate.
Thank you. So sadly, we have to let you go because you have a very pressed agenda. I'm going to do a rapid fire. I'm going to give you 4 words.
Well, this is boxer brief time.
And you just tell me the one thing that comes up for you or in your mind. Fly fishing.
Well, look at me. I'm not to. I'll tear up. Fly fishing.
Fly
It's
fishing.
like my life. For you, it may be dancing. For me, it's fly fishing.
All right.
Yeah. We got married. My daughter's name is Montana. I got married in Montana. If I disappear, you'll find me in Montana fly fishing.
Botswana.
What's that?
Botswana.
Oh, Botswana. I went on my you get this. I went on my honeymoon in Botswana. By the way, my name is Gavin. I was named after someone that wrote a book on river otters, Gavin Maxwell, which was my first pet. So you can understand why my brain is wired a little differently, perhaps, than some other American politicians. So when it comes to wildlife, biodiversity, when it comes to nature, that was my connection, not just to my creator, well, figuratively, but my creator, literally, my father. We got divorced at a very young age, but my one connection with him was once a year on a vacation, talking about the Songus wilderness, talking about Klamath River, talking about the imperative of having a sense of purpose and responsibility so you can have meaning in your life and being a good steward of it.
41 cases.
Well, we're at 46 right now. I'm just saying those are lawsuits against the Trump administration, so we are not screwing around. There's been 41 weeks of the Trump administration, and we're at 46 lawsuits. By the way, not one of those we proactively filed. All of them are in reaction to this unprecedented assault on progress, our republic, my state, and our state of mind as relates to the environment. His first term, 122 lawsuits. Over 80% of them were in the environmental space. He is not screwing around. He's surgical in terms of the approach. We opened up about offshore oil drilling. That's sacrosanct. It's universally opposed. And he still is proposing it. He's a different person. It's a different time. And I hope people understand for things to change, we need to change in order to meet this goal.
The last question and the most difficult of the day. Are you ready? One positive word about Donald Trump.
I mean, you say word.
Have you
It's
always
hard to
been
come up with a
speechless?
word.
Just one word. Just one.
I think one of his great strengths, and it will end on a word, is his ability to shapeshift. His ability to dominate. He doesn't care if he's the heel or the hero, as long as it's a star. His ability to take mind share, to dominate the narrative. He's one of the most effective communicators in my lifetime, one of the worst orators, but an unbelievably effective communicator. And any of you that may have one or two, you've seen some of my social media. I've tried to put a mirror up to the way he communicates and how he communicates. And it matters. Narrative matters. Narrative on climate change matters. narrative in terms of mind share. People, we need attention. This issue needs attention. I'm here not for attention. I'm actually the opposite. I'm trying to stay out of the media in the United States. But I'm here to garner attention on this issue, so it's not lost in the United States again. It's not a footnote and pop. Thank you guys very, very much.
Thank you, Governor.